A little bit more, maybe we could use this time to answer any specific questions anyone might have. Maybe something I didn't talk about or didn't touch on during the class. If there's anything you want to ask at this point, I think now would be a great time for that. Yes, sir?
What was your journey to becoming a b-boy?
My journey to become a b-boy, so I started out when I first saw the video clip of Run DMC, the track called It's Like That. We have a bunch of boys battling a bunch of girls, and they just go at it. That's when I said, all right, I'm gonna start breaking. And then I took classes once a week, and then did that for a year or two, and then that's when I decided, all right, I want to become a real b-boy. I want to compete, because then I saw DVDs and, you know, Battle of the Year. You guys know that? That's like one of the biggest events in the world. I saw that, and I told myself that's where I want to be. That's where I want to go, and never quit. Never stopped since. And even though I went through back surgery and, you know, like a lot of different other injuries, never quit. Because basically right now what we did is I managed to, like my goal was Battle of the Year, right? I managed to stand there 6 times already. Never won it yet, but I managed to get onto that stage 6 times, and my students, not these guys, not yet, but my older students, they won the Battle of the Year World's Final kids twice already. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're making our dreams come true. Yeah, I just want to say that, you know, when I started and I was this kid just watching that, and I said, hey, well, that's where I want to be. You know, you come from being a nobody, but, you know, if you just believe in it and you just don't quit, it might take 10, 15 years, but if you just don't quit, you're gonna get there. And that's what I tell my students, because our goal is we're going to Battle of the Year again this year. We got qualified again, and we're gonna try and win the kids again for the 3rd time. But with the adult crew, the level is extremely high, of course, but like our goal is to win it somewhere around 2028. And like that's where we're going to, and there's like no stopping us. And that's the mentality I want you guys to take with you in whatever you do. School, other passion, job, breaking, dancing, you know, just, even though it might seem impossible now, you would be surprised what you can do if you just don't quit and just keep going. And sometimes you gotta be a little stupid, because you're gonna tell people your dreams, you're gonna be like, I wanna be the best in this. You're like, you're crazy, you're never gonna beat that. But they don't know what you can accomplish in 10 years' time. Nobody does. You don't even know it. So, you know, just go for that. That's like a very valuable lesson I could give you guys. Like, I never thought I would be here teaching in the States, and you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Life is crazy. Any other questions?
I have a question. How would you describe your dance style?
My dance style? Well, you know, I'm a little bit older right now, and I just came from another injury, but when I'm in shape, if you look at my like videos when I was battling a lot, my dance style specifically, I would do a lot of short and very explosive moves, and I would combine them with good timing on the music to make the impact, you know, hit hard, especially for my opponents. That's basically my style, right? Yes.
How did you get into like coaching?
Very good question. I never knew I was going to become a coach, but when I was breaking, I lived outside of the city, and there was like this school organization, and they proposed to me, hey, you want to teach your breakdancing here in the school? And I said, yeah. And it was a great way to get some extra money as a young, you know, 17-year-old breakdancer. And that's when it started, and I only started teaching more and more. There were like more and more schools that were just asking for breakdance classes, and for a long time, I taught, and the teaching for me was just a way to get money. You know, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna teach, but I didn't really care about the students. I was like, you know, if they really want to become b-boys, then they'll figure it out by themselves, just like I did, right? That was my mentality. And then one day, I was in the Netherlands, which is, you know, north from our country. I was there, and there were like these kids that were amazing. And they're famous b-boys now. B-boy Lee from the Ruggeds. Yeah, I saw Lil Lee when he was 6 years old, busting spinning handstands, what we were just doing right now. And I was there, and I was like, damn, these kids are really good. How come we don't have these kind of kids? Our teachers suck. And I'm like, I'm a teacher. And that was a very honest moment towards myself. I said, you know what? you're not contributing to the culture. And that's when I flipped everything around. I used my classes and all the students I have, I started figuring out ways, all right, how am I gonna not just teach, but how am I gonna really form a new generation? And that's also a valuable lesson you can use and extract from this is like, I had to be brutally honest towards myself and push my ego to the side and tell myself, bro, you're not doing a good job, fix it up. And I did. And like, I'm very proud of the results and the students that I have today. But I love telling this story because sometimes a lot of people don't like to face their ego. But it's the best thing you can do because it will transform you and help you become the better version of yourself.
Is it just, I know I already asked this before, but like, is it just straight training or like do you also like work out and like, if y'all work out, like how do y'all, like what?
Great question, absolutely. I strongly recommend, I strongly recommend all my students to work out physically to prevent injuries. And we have a bunch of exercises that we do during our warm-up, but the best thing is that they do it at home. And I don't think all my students do it, but if you look at my top students, for example, B-girl Camille, she's like on her way to being qualified for the Olympics. She takes her braking very seriously. She's a great example. She works out every day. She does her stretching. She goes to a physiotherapist every 2 weeks. So if you want to get to a high level, breaking or any other style, I strongly recommend you take care of your body and you do the things necessary to improve, just the overall condition of your body. Make sure you minimize the chance of getting injured and improve flexibility. Guys, you guys are all so young and you still have a certain flexibility that you took with you from your youth as a kid. But now you guys are teenagers and in a few years you'll be adults. Your flexibility is disappearing with each day. And don't wait until you're 25 years old to say, hey, like how many people told that to me? Like, I used to be flexible as a kid. Yeah, but you didn't maintain it. You should maintain it, and even better than that, you should work on it so it improves because you need your flexibility no matter what you're gonna do. So yes, the answer is yes. I'm not saying all my students do it, but you have to be brutally honest about this. If you really want to be professional, you have to stay away from injury and you have to put in the extra work. Yes, flexibility and strength-wise. Also, at the end of practice, people don't stretch. Like I made a video actually yesterday at the practice, where was it? At YA? YA, we were like done practicing. You had all my students, everybody was stretching. I was filming it and then nobody else was stretching. That's also just something I can share with you guys. At the end of practice, make sure you stretch just to maintain your flexibility, but also it's just gonna take away the soreness of your muscles for the next day. So the next day you have a better practice and the next day you minimize the chance of getting injured as well. Make sense? Don't forget, I know it's a lot, and it's gonna, it sucks to do these things, right? Like at the end of practice, what's more fun? Talk with your friends or stretch and hurt yourself the whole time? Your intelligence has to be stronger than your emotions, and your vision has to be further than the moment itself. What do you want to achieve in the future? That's what's got to be here on repeat, and not just, oh, what can I do right now that's fun? Because that's not going to get you where you need to go. Don't forget, successful people are the people that implement at a fast pace. If you guys take notes of class, every time we take a class, we take notes. And at the end of the class, we sit together, we go through the notes. And at the end of this trip, we're gonna go home, they all have a full page, all notes from all the people we worked with. I strongly recommend you to do that. Use those notes and write them down. Every time you write something down, you remember it better. So if there's something I want you to remember from this class, it's the fast implementation thing, definitely. And then all the rest will follow. Thank you guys, you guys were amazing.